Okay, welcome back, you guys. This is part 2 of my video on Proverbs 27:7, which says, "The full soul loatheth the honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet." And the Young's literal translation, which is the closest to the original meaning of this Hebrew text, it reads, "A satiated soul treadeth down a honeycomb, and to a hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet." Now, another example I want to give you all about, how you know if your soul is, full or if your soul is empty. And I think it's important to know the difference between the two, because if your soul is hungry, you're going to be partaking in things that are not good for you, that are bitter, that are bad for you. And when your soul is full, that things that the world says they need to survive, you won't even need it. And I want to use an example with people who get saved, people who leave the world and they go to church and they get saved and they stay saved. Now, if the world was really so fulfilling, if the world really did fulfill you, then how come these people left the world, joined church, and never came back? If the world was so fulfilling to them, if it really met all their needs, if it really just made them feel whole, if all the sex, all the premarital sex, if all the drinking vodka, if all the smoking weed, if all the partying, the clubbing, the fighting, the stealing, if all of that really fulfilled people, if it really met their needs and made them feel whole, then why did they leave the world's way of having fun, and why did they join the church? So obviously there's something in the church that makes people fulfilled. Now, like I said in part 1, I had a fun time in college. UT Knox, at one time it was a #1 party school. But when I was a freshman, it was a number 16 party school. And I had a lot of fun. I engaged in a lot of things. I had a lot of fun. Well, the world's idea of fun when I was in college. So I know what it means to have a hungry soul and a full soul, because I left all those things. Everything I did in college, I stopped doing those things. And now I'm doing a totally different thing. Because I'm full now, you guys. I'm satisfied. I'm full now. So I tread down a honeycomb, like Young's literal translation says. I loathe the honeycomb, as King James Version says, because my soul is full. God fulfilled me. You may say, what made you feel? What made you fulfilled? God fulfilled me. And no, I'm not talking about, just going to church and going through the motions and the calisthenics of church. I'm talking about getting to know Jesus and God personally. Now, some people, they say, well, I left the world and I went to the church, and the church was not what I needed, so I went back to the world. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The problem is that you were into the church building, but you were not into God and Jesus and fulfilling relationships in the church. What I mean by that is that, some people, they go to church and they say, okay, I joined the choir, I'm an usher, I pay my offerings, I pay my tithes, I went to Sunday service, I went to Sunday school, I dance around when the music plays, and I went to Bible study, and they think that that's supposed to fulfill them. That's not supposed to fulfill you. That's not going to fulfill you at all. Who told you that was going to fulfill you? Who told you singing in a choir once a week was fulfilling to you? That's not fulfilling to you. So people a lot of people, they leave the church because they feel like, I know a lot of atheists, they talk to me about, how they left the church and everything. And I tell them, I say, well, you never really were in a relationship with God and Jesus. You were just in a church building. I said, that doesn't mean anything. You just sitting in the church. You think sitting in a pew makes you fulfilled? What is that? You have to actually get involved with the people, not the activities, I'm talking about the actual people. Only relationship can fulfill you. And relationship with Jesus and God is what is really meant to fulfill you. Of course, people can make you happy and everything, and fun events can make you happy, and but if you buy a new outfit or something, of course that'll make you happy temporarily. But I'm talking about if you want like lasting, enduring fulfillment that makes your soul full. Buying a new outfit does not make your soul full. So it may make you happy. Like many Christians, we try to differentiate between happiness and joy. They say happy is based on what's happening. Happy happening. It's just based on this one event. So you may go buy you a new dress, and I know I love when they give me a new outfit. I'm so happy about the new outfit or the new shoes or whatever. But it doesn't give me joy. It doesn't fulfill me. It just makes me happy for that moment. but it doesn't fulfill me. Who gets fulfilled by clothes? You know, that doesn't even make any sense for you to be fulfilled. God never told you in the Bible that clothes and nice cars and nice home will fulfill you. It can make you very happy though. But what I'm talking about how you need to get to know God and Jesus. And I'll tell you an example of a little girl. I think she was a Hispanic girl. It was a YouTube video. She didn't show her picture. She just had it was just like her talking, and it was some background picture. And she sounded like maybe she was like a 12-year-old Hispanic girl. And it sounded like she was a preacher, because it seemed like she probably spoke a few times. And the way that she described it was that she said that God designed us like donuts. She said that God designed us like donuts, and she said that he intentionally put a hole in each of us, in the middle of us, and he has that donut hole. He has that donut hole. He has the little hole that they sell in little bags. If you go to Krispy Kreme, you can buy a donut, or you can buy donut holes, and they'll actually sell you the little inside part of the donut. So the donuts, when you first buy them, you know, they're like a round little cake looking thing. And then they go through it, and they take this little hole out of it. And Krispy Kreme, they keep those holes. They keep those holes. They don't throw them away. They bake them, whatever, and they sell them in a bag for however much money. So what is making you empty is that God intentionally left you empty. Some people say it like this. They say there's a God-shaped hole in each of our lives, and they say that the only person who fits into the hole is God. Now, if you ever done a puzzle before, you know the puzzle is only meant to be fulfilled by if there's only one hole missing in the puzzle. It's only one puzzle piece that can fit into that puzzle. You know, you cannot fit another one in that piece, in that hole. You cannot fit another puzzle piece in that hole. That puzzle piece hole is meant for one puzzle piece only. Because remember, with a puzzle, a puzzle is just a picture on cardboard, and they put a big stamp on it, and they cut it into a lot of pieces. So every piece is there. The piece that you're missing, it exists. It's not some little made up thing. It's there. It exists just like a puzzle piece. Every puzzle piece in the box is in there. It's just that you have to find the right one. And so many of you are probably trying to fill in all these different puzzle pieces. You may feel the emptiness inside. You say, okay, I'm going to put sex in this empty place, or I'm going to put alcohol in this empty place, or let me see if marijuana fits. Let me see if meth fits. Let me see if the cocaine fits. Let me see what can fit into this this hole in my body. Because God designed us to want to be whole. God designed human beings to want to be made whole. And basically what that wanting to be whole thing does, it makes us seek other people, and it makes us seek Him ultimately. That's why, when you reach a certain age, you want to get married. You want to be whole. You want to be married. You want to have kids. You want to be whole. You want a relationship with other people. And God designed you that way. So while there is a place for you to be married and have kids and, have fulfilling, friendships and stuff, He really wants you. Ultimately, He wants you to run to Him. And so how a drug addict, they're so empty, and partially, they're so desperate because it's addictive. There's addictive things in the drugs. Like if you're addicted to cigarettes, it's not just because they make you whole. It's because you have a craving and you have withdrawal symptoms because they put a lot of chemicals in cigarettes to make you addicted to it. So partially it's because of an addiction, but sometimes you just run to things because they make you feel whole inside. So back to the example with the donut. God has that missing piece to your donut. We're all walking around donuts, and notice some people look so happy. Some people look so fulfilled. They look like they're just on cloud nine all the time. It's because they found their donut hole. They found the creator. The creator of the donut has the donut hole. And I'm going to keep on reiterating this until you guys get it. Every donut has a donut hole. And the creator of that donut has the donut hole. So they have the missing piece. So you guys are running to, I want to join this sorority, this fraternity. Maybe it'll make me whole. I'm going to go get a job so I can go buy some name brand clothes. Some people are fulfilled by name brand clothes. I'm on Facebook because every time you see a Facebook picture of them, they got all their labels showing on their clothes. The expensive name brand labels on their clothes. Some people, they run, from this bed to the next to make themselves whole. Some people run to this blunt and to this hypodermic needle to get whole. Some women, some women, they run to this man, this abusive man, to this abusive man to become whole. But they're never going to be whole. Never. They never will be satisfied, ever. Have you ever seen a satisfied drug addict? Have you ever seen a happy prostitute? You never have. You never will. Because they've not found their donut hole. And God has their donut hole. So again, you can know if your soul is full based on what you turn down, based on what you won't engage in. I will not engage in premarital sex. I tread over it. I loathe sin because I'm so fulfilled now. My satiated soul, my full soul, treads down the honeycomb. It treads down alcohol. And believe it or not, I'm not even against Christians drinking wine as long as it's in moderation. I don't think Christians should get drunk at all. But I'm not against Christians drinking wine because the Bible, lets a lot of, godly people drink wine. But even though I'm not against people drinking wine, I don't even drink wine because my soul is full. I have no desire. I trade over wine. Even though I think nothing's wrong with it. I trade over, drugs. I trade over premarital sex. And, some people say that fornication, all fornication means, they say it's just harlotry. They say it doesn't even mean premarital sex. They say that people change their words to mean that. But even if fornication just means harlotry or promiscuity, I still won't even do premarital sex because I loathe it. I don't need it. I don't have to do it. But the people you see drinking a whole bunch of vodka and wine, it's because they feel empty. They feel sad. They don't feel whole. And God intentionally made unwholeness a very uncomfortable feeling. It's very uncomfortable. It's very depressing. No one wants to be alone. And God designed it that way so that you could run to Him. So you'll know if your soul is full if based on what you don't date, based on who you don't date, based on what you don't put in your body, based on what you don't wear. There are certain things I will not wear because my soul is too full. I don't need a man to tell me I look good, so I don't have to have my body showing. And I don't really have much of a body because I'm only 105 pounds. But even if I was stout or whatever, I had a nice body, even if I did have nice assets, I still would not have to wear booty shorts and have my chest all out because I'm full. If a dude does not tell me I look good, I will live another day, and you will too. So that's how I know my soul is full, because of what I will not engage in, based on where I will not go, based on what I will not say, based on what I will not do, based on who I will not date. I'm 25 years old. And a lot of my sorority sisters are getting, getting engaged and married off and everything. And, most people would be like, she's 25 years old. She should be getting really nervous. She needs to date the first man she can find and get married because she's getting older. I'm not thinking about that. My soul is so full, I don't have to get married at all. And the other side of that, the other side of the full soul is the people who have the hungry souls. If your soul is not full, it is some degree of being empty. And you'll know your soul is empty or hungry if you date abusive men who curse you out, who beat you, who don't take care of you. If you're married, who don't take care of you, men who will not, tell you nice things and treat you right. You know your soul is hungry if you always date men like that. I mean, how many boyfriends, if you've had 5 boyfriends that beat you, the common denominator is you. If you've had 5 boyfriends that all cheated on you, the common denominator is you. It's your empty soul that attracts bitter things and calls them sweet. You know your soul is hungry if you put a whole bunch of drugs in your body that kill you. Putting meth. I mean, meth is like the worst drug ever. It's like a bunch of chemicals you just throw in a pot and you boil it and you put it into your blood. Your soul is hungry. If you do meth and crack cocaine and all that and heroin, your soul is hungry. You need to get fulfilled. You know your soul is hungry if you go to all these different places. You don't need to be at places that are beneath you. Some of these clubs y'all go to is beneath you, but you don't know it yet because your soul is so hungry. You're so desperate for fun. You're so desperate for a good time. So that's how you know if your soul is hungry. So if your soul is empty, ask God to fulfill you. Ask Him to fill your soul. Ask Him to satiate your soul. So I hope this video helps somebody out. Please leave comments. Bye-bye.